Okay, even keel emotion, and this is how I'm going to beat this. They are developing technologies that are based on high occultic principles. So they are fully aware of the realm of Mars, the realm of Venus, the realm of Kether, the realm, or Uranus. They're very, well. They're Hermetic magicians as well, but they're Quillopian based. So they're going to use the vibrations of different entities. They're going to use the vibrations of different planetary spheres and blanket the world in them. A lot of this validated and I brought some of it up, and I said, you guys are darkening the skies. And they both looked at each other, and I said, I know this, and they said, okay. And I said, you're blackening the skies, and eventually what you're talking about is even blocking out the sun, and you're using the idea of saving the planet to keep the sun's rays from greatly lessening how much sun reaches this planet. And I said that's because these interdimensional beings are greatly harmed and dislike the natural sunlight that touches Earth. And they were flabbergasted, and one of them was legitimately upset that I would even say that and bring that up. And I could tell that I started to pick them apart and touch nerves on them, that they were like, how did you know this? And my response was, you're talking to a magician. If your fathers, which I don't know where they came from, I mean, honestly, looking at them, they looked like some diseased vag just spat them both out. I don't know if they're sisters, but because they were so weirdly human, I'm pretty sure their father is a test tube. So, but whoever created them, they're magicians. It stands to reason that since I'm a magician, I would also be talking to spirits as well, which is something that they don't like either. They would much rather confuse people spiritually, that spirits either don't exist, or if they do exist, they're demons. Don't listen to them, listen only to what we say. And they don't want this other aspect. I mean, really, if you look at it, magicians were the first internet users. We used and hacked into the astral internet. And in my own lucid dreams, when I'm ever able to get onto the astral lucid dream internet, there's shit on there that you people you'll have to see it to believe it. And it's true. There is something out there like that manifested and became the internet here. Magicians are the first astral internet users. So, I am talking to astral entities via the astral internet. Okay? It sounds weird, but I think that's a better way of putting it. So yeah, so if a screen name was, oh god, there's so many spirits that just instantly pop up. Whatever. The fact is that I'm being told this information, and I'm being told to look for validation for it. And when I do find it and bring it up to two people who would certainly at least be aware of it, and their faces are so appalled and shocked, I know I've touched a nerve. But they are conditioning the world to bring about a interdimensional species that have no more bodies. But because they're interdimensional, they exist on the astral world and can be communicated with, spoke to, and yes, and here's the point of the order, harmed, scared away, and even destroyed on the astral plane. I would much rather destroy these individuals, these entities on the astral plane, than try to match them in the physical world. Because humans can become godlike on the astral plane. And that is the place that will snuff them out the fastest. Because they can't manifest. If they're injured astrally, their manifestation physically will be extremely weak. So the more we can become aware, activated, and working on the astral plane, the more powerful our continued resistance will be. Because even if we're not getting to the most powerful bunch on the astral plane, our activities there will manifest as stronger forms of resistance here. I hope that makes sense. They are talking about developing machines that continually flood certain portions of the population or the Earth with very, very pure vibrations of a particular entity or a particular planetary sphere. That will actually cause physical changes of everything in that particular area. I have it under very good authority that they are now using some type of vibrational machine to spread the energies of Mars, of a corrupted Mars, of that Quilappian Geburah over our own military troops, and is making them become bloodthirsty monsters and completely devoid of any morality, and just in the base level of destroy, 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 destroy. This is one of the things that me and these two girls talked about. It's very interesting, this picture here. It's one of the things that I thought about when I first met them. And I actually kind of joked. I said, hey, did you two, do the movie The Shining? And like, I think the one got it but pretended like she didn't, and the other one, who's just too smart for her own good, I think it was just way beneath her. And IQ-wise, I think I'm probably almost, 120, maybe. These girls had like 50, 60 IQ points on me. So they were using words that I could only really guess at, and they would explain their meanings, and I would say, okay, I understand that. But I don't have the words that they did, and I think this is part of the major wall that I'm still running up, that I'm running into. The other part is sort of the psychic wall that I'm running into. I'm trying to use concepts and pictures because I don't have the linguistic and vocabulary expertise that these two girls had. It was just off the charts. And in a lot of ways, these two were magicians par excellence. I don't know if they truly understood Hermetic magic in the way that I do, but they understood the manipulation of language, the manipulation of images, and the manipulation of energy frequencies enough to make them probably pretty formidable. And whatever sciences they're working on, I can only just sit back and go, wow, this is crazy. So for their ruling families to have had contact now with interdimensional beings, which I think a lot of the reptilians have given up their physical bodies because they can live so long and they understand so much about about interdimensional reality that at some point they just leave their bodies behind. And I think because they're such a dwindling physical race, that they are targeting this planet to, one, create a superior type subhuman to inhabit and to wipe the face clean of the earth of any of what true humanity used to be. It's not going to be any of the children of the Illuminati. I'm very, very certain of that. They are in the process of creating scientifically in test tubes and in, I don't know, like I see pod tanks of humans that these reptilians would consider worth living in. It's not going to be any of the ruling families. Although these ruling families will probably be, their most, beloved of slaves, and once they get here and eat everyone else, then of course it's just going to be a matter of time before these individuals that are helping this happen become public enemy number one for their old masters. But yeah, it was just such an interesting experience, and even now I'm starting to, as I'm trying to get deeper and deeper into it, it's kind of like I'm getting rebounded off this wall, and I'm losing track of what I'm talking about, and it's a very maddening, very frustrating experience. But I'm going to go back and I'm going to go through at least what I talked about and check that off my list. And as I'm able to, I'm going to come back and release information slowly. If there's anything you need clarified, let me know, because I think that could trigger some things that I could give better specifics for. But for right now, it's a pretty good start, and I need to get something out there so I feel as though I'm working and progressing into figuring out this enigma that I got stuck with by talking with these two girls. I do feel a ton better, and energetically, a lot of my energy and physical strength have come back, but this particular subject feels, I don't know, it feels a lot like when people say they've had a UFO experience and their minds can't necessarily put things in chronological order, and with missing time, this is what I'm going through, and this is what I'm working through. If any of you have had experience with that, let me know and tell me how you got over it.